Hey team, how you guys doing? This is Dave Glaser from Fit Life Champions in Denver, Colorado. I want to appreciate and respect your time, so I'm going to keep this video brief. But as Fernando, our brand new intern, and I were going through our linear periodization and progressions as it fits to Fit Life Champions here in the studio, I realized that I needed to update the information that I share with you guys by kind of clearly laying out how our entire year program is laid out. Beyond a microcycle, beyond a macrocycle, and beyond a mesocycle, how do we put everything together underneath one umbrella? Now, what we do as coaches is we teach you how to be a specialist in one thing. It's why we go out and why we get a CSCS, or why we go out and we get a certified corrective exercise specialist certification from NASM. We want to be known for one thing in the fitness and nutrition industry so that people know how to find us and why they actually want to find us as their coach too. So what we're known for is we're known for helping busy adults improve mental health, decrease stress, and boost energy. We do that in person and online at our our studio, online with our 15 months worth of online training programs that are built, and a hybrid of the two. So if you cannot come see us in person, we have a solution. If you cannot necessarily fit that into your budget, we have a solution. And our prices range from $100 a month to $1,200 a month. So what we've been teaching for the last year plus is how to build a business in fitness and nutrition. And where I've failed you as a coach is I never necessarily taught you the periodization model that we're using with our general population, and then an additional client type that we're starting to serve now. Because we host our gym in a jiu-jitsu gym, we have now come up with a fluid, flexible, intentional plan to help two different types of clients get through their year-long program. We've been known to serve women 25 to 40 with a history of trauma that want to become stronger physically, mentally, and emotionally. We've also written online training programs for a rotational sport, male athlete, 18 to 35, who wants a bulletproof body and to show up as his best self, who doesn't have the time to write his own program. He wants to get into the gym, out of the gym, nice and quick, with interval training at the end of his program. So let's take those two types of people as our ideal avatars, male and female, and plug them into a periodized model throughout the year. We're very, very fortunate that we're coming up on a tournament next weekend and the weekend after that for Jiu-Jitsu. So we're peaking those types of athletes at this time, myself included. I compete this coming Saturday at Fight to Win. That's what we have locally. They actually do things nationally too. So if you're working with an athlete like this in a grappling sport, look at the phases throughout the course of the year. Ours just happen to be February, May, August, and November. Those are our 4 major competitions throughout the course of the year. So that's client B listed here at the bottom. Let's talk about client A though first. This is our female client, our avatar, 25 to 40 with a history of trauma that want a beginner training program. So as you can probably assume, our clients begin most of their programs at the beginning of the year. When they hit their New Year's resolution at the beginning of the year, they're going to start with us in January. Plus, we've advertised the last few weeks in December for that start date. So this is our first 12-week program that we've built for our particular client. January, February, and March. Makes sense, right? That's a simple place to start. We begin with hypertrophy, then we move to strength, and then we move to strength endurance for our general population, male and female clients that come to one-on-one training, small group training, and online training. Everybody starts with hypertrophy. And then we cycle through that same pattern throughout the rest of the year in 12-week chunks. Well, you're probably asking yourself, that only equals 48 weeks out of the year. Well, what that does for us as coaches is it allows us to have a fun, free week of training where our clients come into our one-on-one sessions and we're doing different types of programming, whether that's HIIT, or Tabata or plyometrics or body weight specific. This is our flexible schedule where we as coaches can reset our systems as well. It's also that 13th week, 12-week phase, and then the 13th week before we start our next 12-week phase is an opportunity for me as a business owner to take a week of vacation. So by introducing this system into our business, I've now built 4 weeks of vacation into my year-long program. And my clients have bought into this program too because we're selling 12-week programs. So after the 12 weeks, they take a week off to deload. They come into the gym, they have a lot of fun, they see whatever trainer they want in small group training, and business owner takes the day off, or takes the week off, excuse me. Now, that's the progression model throughout the year for general population, our ideal client on one side. Now, what happens if we add another we're passionate about serving Jiu-Jitsu and rotational sport athletes as well, so hockey, golf, baseball, any of the 4 major sports, we can train with this particular program. And here's the difference. Because their competition phase is different throughout the course of the year, we need them peaking and maximizing their training program at the right time. So take, for example, my program design. I'm no longer lifting this week. I might do 6 to 7 jiu-jitsu classes this week, 6 a.m., 6:30 p.m., 7:30 p.m., just to fit in my sport-specific training as I deload from the intense strength and power phase that we just finished with barbells and kettlebells. So that would deem it necessary for me to back up my programs by a month. And what happens with a different type of client, this is why I have an ideal client, is so that our systems work to maximize the opportunity for business owner and client to reach their goals simultaneously. What happens is we take our jiu-jitsu athlete and we begin their annual program in December. That's 1 month ahead of our general population clients. So as soon as this August tournament is finished, I have another 12-week program, then I deload, and then I compete again in November. Then I take a week off and I come back fresh and strong at the beginning of December, ready to work for next February's competition if I so choose to compete. Our jiu-jitsu athletes are working for 1 month in the strength endurance phase, which just so happens it's the strength endurance phase that our general population is finishing out their year with. Now, these 2 different types of clients can be working in the same small group training class, in the same personal training system as each other without us having to overwork and recreate that program. Then our jiu-jitsu athlete goes to hypertrophy, and then they go to strength and power, which is a great place for us to peak our athlete in time for that February competition. And guess what? Our general population client is now also in strength and power phase because it's February up here, and they want to peak in March. And here's why. Because our general population clients, this is why we go back to that webinar and the conversation that we've always had is your niche initiates your systems. So you can apply this system to your own niche based on when their goals of peak season comes around. It can apply to soccer. It can apply to skiing. And that's why I want to talk to you about it right now. So our clients begin in January. That's kind of like the end of preseason for skiing in Colorado. Then they go into in-season programming. And then they go into peak snow accumulation season here in March. March and April are our 2 wettest months in Colorado. So if our general population loves snowboarding and skiing, we're going to start their 12-week program 12 weeks before they want to peak. Now, I'm hoping that this is making sense as far as what our goals are for these 2 different clients and how they can fit into the same program, or the same phase at the same time in January. I hope that all of this makes sense so that we can accommodate more clients in a small space, leveraging your time so that you can train more people with less desk time, more time freedom so that you can go out and do exactly what you love to do, which is spend time with friends and family, vacation during the summer, be involved in your own sport of choice, because we all need something that's going to release that stress, boost energy, and improve our mental health as business owners. And that's what I wanted to briefly cover today. Thank you again to our intern who helped me work through this process so that I could better explain it to you guys as we begin this process. September 4th is our next group mentorship program, and I want you guys to apply by clicking the link below so that you can get the full spectrum of the system that we're talking about. This is just the tip of the iceberg, and this is a brand new feature that I'm going to be uploading into week 1 of your mentorship as soon as I jump off of this Facebook Live. I want to thank you again for your time. My name is Dave Glaser from Fit Life Champions in Denver, Colorado. Please head on over to daveglaser.com and download your free ebook, 7-Step Guide to Build a Personal Training Business that will thrive and sustain for many years to come. Thank you again. Talk to you soon.